Teixeira has him cutting. Beautiful ball, slipped it through that back line. Mirza scores!
We're going to see the onslaught by the Bears. They're going to push everybody forward. Garrett into the middle, saved by Walensky.
There was no flop.
Oh, blocks, and it's headed in by Diaz. Bulldogs take the lead.
To the area from here, runs up, takes the swing at it. It's right at the penalty position. Teixeira's there for a goal. Welcome to Bedford High School in Bedford, New Hampshire. I'm Corey Munster Tiger, joined in the booth here by Bill Klein. We're ready to bring you Division I boys soccer action here this evening on a gorgeous New England evening. We've had a snap of unbelievably warm weather here, Bill. The 12-0-2 Bulldogs will host the Blue Devils, who hold a record of 6-5-3 coming into this evening. We're ready for some good boys soccer action. What are you expecting here tonight, Bill?
Well, we've only got 2 games left for each team this evening, and Salem comes in with a 6-5-3 record, like you just mentioned. The final game is the 24th for Bedford. They play Dover. That is not won a game yet. Salem has a few games that we can compare head-to-head competition. The one that kind of surprised me was after last week's 10-0. What do we call it?
Trouncing?
Trouncing of poor Spalding.
Okay.
The Spalding-Salem game, Salem won, but only by a score of 4-2. They only have 3 shutouts versus our 11. Goals for Bedford, 54 goals. Salem scored 29, allowed 23. Bedford, you got those 11 shutouts and goals against, only 4 allowed so far. Looking good for the tournament. Hopefully everybody will be healthy. That's, I think, the biggest thing when you get to this point. You want to be able to start and play a really healthy team when we hit the playoffs coming up very shortly.
Absolutely. Team health is certainly of paramount importance. Of course, closing out the rest of the schedule is as well. So a couple games left on the schedule, as you mentioned. Across here, Mirza can't finish. He's in the right place, right time. Scooped up by goalkeeper Elias Mercedes for the Blue Devils. He'll boot it out. We're 1 minute in and tied at 0. This Bulldog squad trying to get early action on the scoreboard.
And they scored within the first minute last week against the Spalding side. Wasn't surprising the way that they're attacking here. And goalkeeper made a nice save on that ball. If he hadn't been right there, it would have been a fairly easy goal for Bedford.
Caplow here distributes to the far side. Sending one in left-footed. Johnson.
A little dangerous, but goalkeeper on the spot.
Touched too tight to the end line, so Mercedes was able to come off and field that cleanly. Near side now, Pinto has it taken, but the Blue Devils regained possession.
Bedford girls earlier today beat Salem over there, scored a 2-1, I believe. And they have that one final game versus Dover away.
Tennant steps up here and slows down the Blue Devil attack.
Typical wonderful ball control by the Bedford Bulldogs. Very well coached, obviously. Pleasure to watch.
Tennant again will dribble up that far sideline. Distributes to the middle. Now Mirza takes a lefty strike and now fields it in towards the middle. Oh, volleyed and in.
Goal! I got to get a little excited.
Gabe Teixeira, I believe, was the goal scorer there as he was right on top of the goalkeeper.
Plucked it out of the air, Corey. That was a beautiful goal, and I'm sure those of you watching, if you're watching at home or you see this on replay later, it's I think we got a rewind on that. And nice ball, just literally plucked right out of the air. Nice touch.
Yeah, Mirza's first attempt got blocked, and then he served a beautiful ball back into the middle. And fortunately for the Bulldogs, Gabe Teixeira was there. 37-27 left in this first half.
By number 11,
not even
Gabe
3 minutes
Teixeira.
into this game, the Bulldogs are ahead 1-0.
Ali Mirza.
First attacking play there is busted up very quickly by the Bedford defense. Solid defense. Corey, they're not only great offensively attacking, but they're balanced all over the field.
Led, of course, by Eli Kaplow, senior captain on that back line, just so composed when he gets the ball. Sends a deep ball ahead there. Looking for that left wing. Teixeira gets foiled as he approaches that back line. Here Hoey will play it back to Kaplow. Far side now Tennant. Exploring, building from the back. Hoey will take his time, settle it. Nice through ball there by Teixeira. Wallace with
nice
the cross. Running onto it, Teixeira here. Might get a second opportunity. Falls in the box. No foul.
Referee started to put the whistle to his mouth.
Near side. Will trickle out of bounds. Hoey to throw in. Johnson, just a quick little touch back to him. Teixeira looks for Mirza.
That's a
some good
twosome
defense.
The two of them have been clicking all season right from the first game.
Pinto, nice little foot into the action there to prevent a turn. Benjamin back to Wallace. Now Benjamin gets a nice turn here on this right wing. Centering pass, shot, score! Beautiful volley there.
Corey, the first touch percentage of being quality touches by the Bedford team is just unbelievable. You very, very seldom make a mistake, and there you've got those passes crisp, back and forth, open player, sitting in front of the goal. Great finish.
Open player being Jacob Bilecki. Finishes with his right foot, no less.
Number 14, Jacob
and the Bulldogs go up 2-0
Assistant number 18,
just 2 minutes later from that first goal. So Teixeira puts the Bulldogs on the board. Bilecki puts them up 2-0. The Bulldogs are up quite early in this game, not 5 minutes in to this tilt against the Blue Devils.
Corey, we were looking at the rosters before the game, and a lot of seniors on this Bedford side that I don't think any of them are going to stay back a year and still be with us next year. We're going to lose 12 seniors next year. As far as Salem goes, they've got 10 juniors. But they continually build, and of course the players, the majority of these players for Bedford are always big club side players, many of them playing together, so they have the experience on the field together before they come out here in the fall for high school soccer.
Wallace tried to play the diagonal there, tipped away, but the Bulldogs still on the attack, and Mirza will put the Bulldogs up 3-0. Just finding
goal. My goodness.
Bilecki on the assist, Mirza right there, nobody around him, nobody marking him, and finishes in that low right corner.
This is the kind of the team play, the finishing, while you've also had the defense to. Salem's not had the ball inside the 18. The Bedford side, looking forward, potentially a repeat of last year's championship where they had some tough going at the end, but they came out on top.
Assistant number 14.
Well, this is a strong start here this evening, and as you mentioned, these Bulldogs are trying for back-to-backs. They had a marvelous finish to their season last year, carving through the playoffs, and of course winning the state championship. And now, as you mentioned, they've returned 12 seniors, so a tenured squad, a lot of experience out here, very talented kids, and they're showing it here this evening.
Did you see the result of the JV game played prior to this? I did not. It seemed to end earlier than usual.
I did not. Mirza here threatening again. Top of the box, gets loose, left foot, save, Mercedes.
Great save.
Absolutely, great reaction, got both hands on it.
Nice punt, look at that. Holy cow.
A little bit of a rebound, but Mercedes was there quickly to cover. Bulldogs have seemingly gone to a 3-back here. They've been playing a lot of the season with 4-back. Benjamin playing a little bit of a holding midfield position there as he floats a little high.
Bedford overall sports teams this fall, as most people know, they've been doing incredibly well. The crew team just won the state championship just prior to that. The golf team, they won the state championship. We've got, obviously, the girls are right now in 4th place. Looking forward to possibly a top 4 finish. They don't. Could be 5th place at the end, and then the field hockey team starts off, I believe it's next Wednesday in the 1st round, and they've got a pretty good record as well. And of course, the football team, which you know inside and out, Corey.
Football squad is undefeated. They have a big tilt this Friday against Nashua South, also coming in with an undefeated record. That should be a great game right here from Bedford High School. So tune into that on BCTV and WBNH. We will cover that live on Friday evening. Harry Kozlowski will join me in the booth for that one. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Should be an absolute battle on Friday night. I believe the bass fishing team went to the finals too. Nice touch here, sending Mirza in. Right foot this time, score!
Done deal. Another good, no sloppy goals here. Every single goal has been a hard drive, literally into the back of the net.
And that was a spectacular touch by Teixeira, setting Mirza in. Beautiful ball to get him a little bit of space, and kudos to Mirza, the lefty, finishing with his off foot, right foot, buried it into the back of the net. The Bulldogs go up 4-0, not 10 minutes into this game.
Bedford goal by number 10, Ali Mirza.
And I've got to say, what I've seen from Mercedes, the Salem keeper so far, none of these goals are anything that I think virtually any high school keeper could have stopped. He's not bad, and he's a junior. He's not a senior. So they're going to have him back hopefully next year.
Yeah, I can't fault the goalie for any of these. I mean, these are absolute bullets that are sailing past him into the net. So he's in a tough spot back there, trying to thwart these offensive opportunities for the Bulldogs, and just too good in their finishing attempts here so far this evening.
Notice how Bedford spreads the field. They're moving the ball all over. From here you go from the right back to the left corner.
Bilecki runs onto it. Great ball by Hoey.
Ooh, close. What's this call going to be? I haven't seen a signal yet.
I haven't either. Is it a throw or a corner?
I think it's such that it should be a throw.
Looks like they're setting up to defend a corner.
It does, but I didn't see the lead official signal that. I think it could have been one of these deals, Corey. I don't know if you've seen this before, where the players, whoever gets the ball first wins.
I love it.
They put it there, it's going to be a corner.
They just make the assumption, and they say, Mr. Official, tell me I'm wrong. In swinging right-footed corner here, far side, Johnson. Volleyed out by the Blue Devil defense. Trying to run onto it there. Mateus Pinto does go out of bounds, and the Blue Devils give up a throw here. Benjamin taps it near side. Here's Hoey. Teixeira. Good body, but he'll get called for the foul on that. I thought that was good shoulder to shoulder, but at 4-0, the official said, okay, we're not going to let you have that one.
And honestly, I could see exactly what Gabe just did then. And he was feigning. He was playing the ball to himself, expecting to get around the player and hit him. However, I don't know that that's a foul. I
agree.
I think it was a great play. I like it.
Good shoulder-to-shoulder contact there, but again, at 4-0, I think the officials are giving a little extra for the Blue Devils. That's fine, appropriate. Santerre here serves Wallace down in the corner, who runs onto it
what
nicely.
A nice run.
Keeps it in. See what he can do to get along that end line.
Beats the first man. Avoids the second.
He'll play it back. Benjamin, a little tough touch there. It goes out of bounds, but I think he was fouled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Phils will get called for the foul for the Blue Devils.
Looks like we may have the first substitution coming in here soon for Bedford. I'm not positive.
This is a great opportunity for Coach Pepper to get a lot of playing time for his reserve players. Up 4-0 in the first 10 minutes of the first half, so you certainly hope that's going to be the case. And two subs come in right now.
Yeah, it's good to do just a couple. It really frustrates me when I see like a hockey line change, so to speak, where a coach will send in 5 or 6 players all at once, because you're not giving them the opportunity to play with the best players on the field to get the feeling of where to put the ball, how to run, how to move, playing together. And that is one of the keys to developing a team year after year after year.
Vinny Rodriguez and Ryland Hooven come in for the Bulldogs. I should say Italo Vinicius Gondin Rodriguez. I think he just goes by Vinny. A little bit easier for us up here in the booth.
You did that very well, senor.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Bulldogs, again, just dominating possession here this evening. And, of course, as you can see from that scoreboard, up early here. Good ball from Kaplow. Finds Hooven. Excuse me, that's Bilecki. Again, tough to see these numbers. Red numbers on black uniforms and old eyes don't make for very good identification of players. So we're going to mistake that a few times here and there. Hui heads it forward to Benjamin.
And I've simply learned to avoid even trying to guess at who it is out there, Corey. It's so frustrating for me. My eyesight isn't quite as good as yours. You're like, what, are you half my age to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, about that.
Just that.
Yeah.
That alone.
You must be 94 then?
Almost. Feel like it some days, let me tell you.
Kaplow escapes that back line, thwarts the offensive opportunity. Santerre now pushes forward for the Bulldogs. Tipped away there by Derek Campbell for the Blue Devils. But right to the Bulldogs, and they'll regroup.
Low percentage play on that. The kind of ball he played there. Here's Gabe again with the nice work. The ball's going to stay in.
Tried to serve Kaplow on a run from that back line. Couldn't quite make the connection, and now Santerre. Far side. Good move here. Bilecki gets to his left foot, finds the opposite corner.
Behind the keeper. I think I'm not, well, I say that again? No. Have to see the way that went in, but my goodness. Wow.
Bilecki, just great move to get to his strong left foot. And buries in that low right corner, just wrong-footed the keeper, Mercedes.
So the 5 goals, we got Ali's got 2, Bilecki 2, and Gabe Texera 1. I believe.
That is what I have too. This one's unassisted here for Bilecki. Mirza has an assist as well. Benjamin has one. Bilecki has one, and Teixeira has one. So 5-0, 25-50 to go here in this first half.
You know, when you look at the teams from the end of last year, bit of a flip-flop other than Hanover. And Bedford obviously being in tie for first place. Hanover's in 3rd place now, but they have 3 losses and 1 tie. And Nashua South, Nashua North are not having, great seasons this year for a big change.
A little unusual. Opens up a good door for the Bulldogs to possibly make a deep run again. Near side Hoey. First time we've seen Walensky touch the ball this evening, back in goal for the Bulldogs. Distributes, and now the Bulldogs will try to work through the midfield. Ball here for Wallace. He's offside.
Yeah.
Just a touch behind that last line.
That was one of the few times that the Salem defenders were able to pull upfield to hold them, and actually they created that offside situation where the timing was just unfortunately off for the forward pass there.
Campbell goes diagonal, seeking the right wing, and now he'll settle. Touches forward. That's Pinto, far side, working along the sideline. Substitution, Owen LaGrasse has come on for the Blue Devils. Played forward. Rodriguez tries to make it through that back line, but it's cleared off by Mercedes. Couple of heads by Hoey. And now Jacobson has come on for the Blue Devils. Matthias Jacobson.
Texera with the ball down in the corner, I believe. It's one number. It's kind of easy to see, the 11, plus his hair. Oh!
Serve into the middle, bounces around near the penalty spot, and cleared away by the Blue Devils.
Nice cross. Got into the middle, but no finish on that one. That's one of the first ones that was set up perfectly, but Bulldogs were not able to get the shot off and challenge Mercedes in the goal again. Based on the score, I think it's safe for me to say this, that we probably won't see overtime tonight. But I mentioned that just because that's like the only rule change this year was New Hampshire simply dropped the overtime for regular season games.
So we wouldn't have seen overtime regardless?
No. But coming up, when we hit the tournament, the first 2 rounds, preliminary quarterfinals, will be 2 10s if necessary. And then the semis and finals will be 2 15s. And those are all sudden victory. You have to be positive. You can't say sudden death.
Correct. Golden goal, either way. However you like to refer to it, it ends immediately. Shot here, blocked. Blue Devils defenders get in the way. Now they work that far sideline.
Got a corner, I think, here. Yep.
Wallace doing well for the Bulldogs to earn that corner. With 22 left here in the first half, the Bulldogs cruising here in this first half. 5-0 is your score. 2 by Mirza, 2 by Bilecki. We started the scoring by Teixeira. And the Bulldogs are having a time of it tonight.
Interesting, Exeter's final game is not the same as the Bedford matchup.
Good ball here by the Bulldogs. Touch long. They get ahead on it, but it trickles over that end line.
And I mentioned that because of, speaking of the tournament at this point, I think it's safe to say that Exeter and Bedford are both going to be in probably the top 2 teams no matter what. But the final game Exeter has is against Manchester Central. That before today, 5-6-3 record. That could be a challenging game for them, and Exeter has to play at Central. On top of that, I think you were chatting with Corey Parker before the game about the odds look like Bedford probably would get the #1 seed and a bye the first round.
And there is only one bye in the boys soccer tournament structure, so that #1 seed is an important one, and they would obviously like to win out here and put pressure on Exeter to do the same. Regardless, there could be tiebreakers in Bedford's favor. That will be worked out at the end of the regular season. So 2 ties for both teams. Of course, the Bulldogs tied Londonderry back on September 20th, 0-0. And then last week on the 17th, they tied Portsmouth 0-0. Unusual for this squad to not be able to score, as they do have a prolific offense. Exeter's 2 ties came to Alvern on the 5th of October, 1-1, and then Portsmouth on the 15th, 1-1 as well.
And that Alvern tie was kind of odd, to say the least. It didn't make any sense at all.
A little strange, that one, because Alvern has only won 1 game this year. That was at Spalding last week.
1-10-3 record.
Yeah, just 3 ties and the rest losses. So that was a very big surprise in Division I boys soccer action last week. That surprised a lot of people around here. Excuse me, that was on the 5th. So a little bit earlier in this month of October.
A long ball by a Salem defender.
And honestly, the tie to Portsmouth was a little odd too. Portsmouth has a rather middling record this year as well. So Two somewhat quizzical outcomes there for that Exeter squad. Bulldogs here working on some fancy footwork along that far sideline.
Bedford throw-in. I mentioned this, I think it was just last week that I realized that this entire season, Corey, I've not seen a single long throw. No flip, no players done the flip throw-in.
Yeah, for either Bedford or their opponents.
And both boys and girls game, it seemed like short throws. And obviously sometimes that's a factor just based on you've got a player that can, even without the flip part of it, but you've got a player that can throw the ball that far that it makes sense to make it like a free kick or a corner.
Sure does. Gives you an opportunity in the penalty area. So why not threaten when and where you can? Some excitement there for the junior Matt Grimes, trying to make a move around a Bedford defender.
Almost did it too. It's kind of nice to see in between the JV and the varsity game, the Salem Soccer Booster Club was here and brought pizza for the JV players. And they stayed. Sometimes those teams head home on a bus, but tonight they stayed to root on their teammates, which is nice.
Did they give you any pizza, or were they a little biased towards folks
I honestly
from Salem?
did not approach them. Of course, I was wearing my BCTV jacket.
Yeah, that might do you in.
That Bill Jennings would, he loves it. When I tell him, hey, I wore it in the grocery store. I wore it to, the mall the other day. And
Grand Poobah's upstairs on the camera. We appreciate Bill. Andrew Fenn producing back in the studio, helping with replays. We cannot see them here, but we understand that you are on the video feed seeing replays, likely of each of these 5 goals and all of their marvels.
And that foul that was just committed there that I think was a good call against the Bulldogs.
Off that back line again, Campbell fires it forward. Bulldogs first to it. And now Jacobson serves it back.
Boston Strobe. I just saw the first name of number 10 for Salem. Boston.
Yeah,
there's a story behind that naming.
Good sports
name. What a great name,
there.
huh?
Yeah. Wallace here takes on 3 defenders. Gets back on the ball, gets fouled.
That's inside the penalty area.
PK.
Unfortunately,
Tough one there. We'll see it on the replay, I'm sure, as Wallace made a nice move, danced over the ball, pulled it out for himself, and got clipped in the ankles. So he earns a PK.
And is it Wallace taking it? Is my question. Can you
think
tell?
So. I believe that's Hooven, actually.
I know the coach has a couple times. There's been a couple penalty kicks this season that a player, other than the one that was taken down, was given the kick for some. I don't know what the plans are.
That's the case here. That's James Looney lining up for this PK. Approaches, fires, saves. Mercedes guessed right, moved to his left, and saves the PK. It stays 5-0. Nice anticipation there by Elias Mercedes. I wouldn't say it was the most challenging PK to save, but great nonetheless. Hoey helps to prevent this counter-strike opportunity. He came in and challenged hard.
First shot and save. And there's a player down. I don't know if there was. I don't think it was a foul that was called. It's out there.
Marcelino Fills.
Keeper's holding onto the ball, so I believe that's probably right. Hate to see this, whether it's the Bedford side or Salem.
I think it was just a tough challenge by Evan Hoey as they had that breakout opportunity. The Blue Devils were looking for a counter strike after that save on the PK. Fills is up and looking to be okay.
I must say I was, in fact, rooting for Mr. Looney there. James, his father, is one of the young men, fathers of players on this team that played for me back in the late 70s.
Well, just 1 or 2 years ago. That's good.
Yeah, see, like back when you were you born in the Alive in the 70s?
Easy. Not that young. Yes, I was alive in the 70s.
These high school players are in their 60s.
Star Wars Episode
crazy.
4, A New Hope, had just come out. And, it was just conveniently timed for my, birth year. So I'm not sure if they were associating me with A New Hope or not. Caplow, far side tenant. Bulldogs again did nicely to avoid a serious threat on that counter punch from the Blue Devils. Near side, substitute Grayson Provencher. Plays it ahead. Here's Devin Lafferty. Ball goes out of bounds off his foot, so the Blue Devils will have a throw.
And he's a sole freshman on the team for Bedford this evening and this season as well.
Nice volley ahead. Looking for Rodriguez, challenging that back line. Here's Hooven. Rodriguez. Nice tic-tac-toe passing, earning possession and holding it for the Bulldogs. Wallace again. He'll threaten into the box again.
Looking for the space, and he's got it, and there it
Lefty
is.
just over that crossbar.
Oh, so close.
Great work by him, though, getting an opportunity, just a little glimmer of space there, and able to get a shot off, just a touch high.
And 2 years ago and part of the beginning of last year, there were too many shots taken that were high, like that one. But prior to that tonight, I don't think there's been a high ball hit. They've controlled them very well, keeping them down. I think that the coaching staff has really emphasized keeping the ball low.
Yeah, and honestly, that one didn't miss by much.
No.
I mean, that was maybe only a foot over the crossbar. So they've, if they have put a concerted effort into keeping those drives low and under that crossbar, they've done a great job with it. Reacted to the coaching and implemented it into their game. Santerre now distributes.
Nice takeaway there. I think that was Looney.
Lafferty, I believe. Santerre. Near side, Lafferty. Now Wallace tries to get Lafferty in. Cleared away.
Salem
That's
just didn't
Stroh.
bother trying to do anything other than get the ball off the field and take a break here. The defenders for Salem have got to be fairly tired at this point after we got 26, 27 minutes into the half.
Provencher tips it ahead. Salem team putting together some passes here. Here's Lete coming ahead. There it's Caplow getting a lot of ball, getting a little foot and leg afterwards. Rodriguez can't pull it in.
That was absolutely a good no call on that. He did stay totally low and played the ball, and the attacking player tripped over him. It was like one of the Salem players went over and was trying to talk to the ref, and the ref appeared to be asking the player to, hey, calm down, which is a good technique instead of pulling out a card.
Lete here. Now Caplow again, great tackle.
Was that Caplow on the first one?
It sure was.
My legs are hurting, Corey. I would.
Man, might be having some strawberries or turf burn on his legs at the end of this one.
Oh my God, that was good.
Wallace tries a little 1-2, can't recover quickly enough as he and Jacobson tried to hook up on the near sideline. And now Caplow will exit the game. Some more substitutions for Coach Pepper.
The Bulldog time of possession here, almost the same time as the game's been played, other than just a few opportunities that Salem's had to move the ball up a little bit, but then they tend to not use short passing. It's a long ball, and the Bedford defense picks it up and starts things all over again.
Junior Evan Hoey will assume that center back position, likely wanting to get him some time in anticipation of future years. Jefferson Cotnoir is on for the Bulldogs now as well, near side. Here's Brody Snyder. for the Blue Devils. Taken away by Cotnoir. Santerre plays it back for Hoey. Leite was looking to do what he could to get possession or present an opportunity forward for Snyder. Bulldogs quickly back in their offensive end. Rodriguez. He'll get called for a foul. 10 minutes left here in the first half. The Bulldogs ahead 5-0. Teixeira started this game not 3 minutes into the game, assisted by Mirza. Bilecki followed that up 2 minutes later on an assist from Ethan Benjamin. Mirza then had 2 in a row, first assisted by Bilecki and then Teixeira to put the Bulldogs up 4-0, and then Bilecki put the Bulldogs up 5-0. That was with 26 minutes left here in the first half. Coach Pepper might have called off the Dogs. He put a few substitutions in, and of course he doesn't want them not looking at the goal at all, but being a bit more prudent in their opportunities. Cotnoir here.
Oh, no.
Nice run. Ooh, that was a tough call.
The player, I believe the player right in front of the ref was onside. The other player was off, but it didn't matter. It should not have been called, unless I'm mistaken on that. But with the lines here, it makes it kind of easy when
you would think.
Looked at so many of these
Cotnoir,
over and over again.
Yeah, Jefferson Cotnoir a little early. Of course, it's at the strike of the ball, not necessarily when he receives the ball. So official thought he was a touch ahead of that second to last defender.
The rules aren't changed by the officials based on what the score of the game is or how it's being played.
Come on, Bill.
But,
you know they are.
But, well, we saw last week that Salem game, Spalding game, where, and actually I confirmed that the two coaches did get together and say to the officials, hey, if you want to cut this game a little short, and, we don't care. Keep in mind also it was pretty cold that night. But
it was a 10-0 outcome in favor of the Bulldogs. Makes sense why they might shorten it by a few minutes here and there. Here's Hooven doing what he can to put pressure on that back line. Cleared out though. And now the Blue Devils moving forward.
I was doing a little research based on the status where we are here with boys soccer in the state, and some of the perennial winning teams, for example, Hanover. And I'm shocked. I was shocked to find Hanover is the smallest school in D1. Out of 22 schools, their enrollment is 689. Pinkerton, 3,079.
There you go.
Bedford, 1,400, but BG as well, only 771.
Yeah, some small schools there. Hanover's traditionally had a very strong soccer program, earning their status in the Division I ranks.
What seems a little odd is on the girls' side, Keene High School, which would be in the middle, right dead center in the middle of the D1 schools, they opted to play down. So they're the largest Division II school in the state with 1,341.
Good ball here. Rodriguez takes a touch. Finishes left. He can't do it.
Here we go. There we go. See?
Can't do it.
I shouldn't have said anything about those sky balls.
Honestly, that looked like it was a bit far left, too. Took a heavy touch to try to get to his left as Mercedes had come off his line and pressured Rodriguez just enough to have that heavy touch. But nearly got to it and nearly put that sixth goal on the board for the Bulldogs. Nice pass through, too, to get Rodriguez in stride.
Yeah, the same type of passing, ball control, without the finish.
Playing it.
Don't see that very often.
Near side, off the heel of a teammate. Santerre pulls it down, then gets fouled.
Good call.
A little kick to the ankles makes him stumble.
Pinto challenging in the midfield. And now Hoey will settle things. Surveys his options. Tennant makes a run on that left side. Ticking down to about 5 minutes here in the first half.
And ticking down also probably the last pleasant temperature game being played in the state this evening. After tonight, the temperature is going to be dropping pretty quickly.
I believe tomorrow we're still supposed to be in the 70s, and then after that we'll actually experience some fall weather. But yes,
I take that back. There is one more day.
One more day, but possibly no more games. Not sure if there are any Wednesday slated games, so I don't think you're entirely incorrect. Good hustle near side here. The Bulldogs will earn a free kick.
I said something the other day. There were some young people around me, and I said, this reminds me of Indian summer, and I don't think I can recall having very many Indian summers the last couple of years. And the kids looked at me and said, what's an Indian summer?
Yeah, right.
And then somebody said, and I got a real kick out of this, said, well, it's probably called something else now. You probably can't use the word Indian summer.
Yeah, Native American summer. Not sure if there is alternative language for that. Either way, referred to as a nice warm spell in the late fall.
And our commander-in-chief up above is still out. He's outside again tonight, where we've had the camera down in here the last couple matches. But it's nice up there for Mr. Jennings to enjoy the fresh air and night air. I don't think there's too much of a breeze either tonight either, so it's probably still close to 70.
Beautiful evening. Long ball here. Looking for Lafferty on the right wing. Inside, plays the outside of his right foot. Rodriguez now, nice turn. Glances away from his foot though.
The Salem player just held his ground, didn't step into him. If he had, then it would have given him a chance to get around him. But
Matt Grimes
well done
there.
by the Salem player.
Junior Matt Grimes. Give him a little airtime. Here he is again. Plays it back. Here's Liam Hevahan. Cotnoir hassling Grimes. It's not Rick Grimes, that's Matt Grimes, for all of you fans out there of The Walking Dead. Tennant forward.
Oh, nice overlap. And the wing running down there. Nicely played. Didn't gain much on it, but
Probing, right? That was Looney on that far side. Rodriguez onto the ball now. Touches it ahead for himself. To Hooven, trying to make some connections there. Here's Jacobson. Nice little feint to stun the defender there by Tennant. Plays it into the middle to Santerre.
Got less than 2 left now. The clock on the field stopped. Officials keeping time.
Through ball here. Shot is going to trickle wide right, wide left.
One of the rules that I between FIFA, USSF and whatnot, and the Scholastic games are the way that they do the time, and the fact that officials in FIFA, USSF will not end the game if a team's attacking. They give them a chance to finish that attack. But in Scholastic soccer, the game's over when it's over. The clock ends. That's it.
And which do you prefer? Either as a player, a coach, an official? Which would you prefer?
That's a good question, Corey. And I think to a certain extent, I kind of like the concept of every other sport that we have. We go by a clock, right? Basketball, Ball's got to be in the air, left the player's hands, correct? Football, you don't have a play on. You don't continue an ad game. Ice hockey.
Well, football you actually do. That the time can expire as long as the play has started, right? So you actually do sometimes have play after the time has expired. So that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. I didn't really picture that.
And then you have untimed sports too, golf, tennis, kind of odd. I kind of like the subjectivity of it, just giving a team who may be making a threat, especially if it's a one-goal game or a tie game, giving a little bit of subjectivity to the ref, say, wow, they have an opportunity here. No opportunities here remaining in the first half, though. 5-0 is your score. We hear 2 whistles from the referee. We'll pause for halftime and rejoin you for second half action here from Bedford High School Stadium on BCTV. We'll join you on the other side.
Folks, the Bedford concession stand is open with plenty of pizza, drinks, and snacks. The Bedford Bulldog Athletic.
Welcome back to Bedford High School Stadium here in Bedford, New Hampshire. I'm Corey Munster-Tiger in the booth with Bill Klein for BCTV. First half action for the Bedford Bulldogs boys soccer team. They lead 5-0 at halftime over the Salem Blue Devils. An absolute show of fireworks here by the offensive side of the field. Bulldogs getting goals by Teixeira, Bilecki, Mirza, and then Bilecki again, putting the Bulldogs up 5-0. And that was all within the first 15 minutes of this game. They kind of cruised through that second half. Now we're going to have the starters back on for the Bulldogs, probably for a few minutes, and then Coach Pepper will likely make some substitutions again. Bill, thoughts from that first half?
You know, I just replayed all 5 goals. I believe all 5 goals were scored from within probably no further than 10 to 12 yards from the goal. No shots taken from further out. It'd be interesting to see if that's something that they want to go for, or because of the score, maybe not do that and continue to pass more.
We shall see. Phils tries to save that ball and keep it in. Trickles out of bounds, so Tennant with the throw. I would imagine that they're not going to try to snipe from long distance, that they'll continue to work the ball, look for solid opportunities as Benjamin here will play it out. Yater is in the goal for the Bulldogs. Coming on in relief for Derek Walensky. First half goalkeeper.
Yeah, my guess would be we're going to see a lot of ball control, maybe a few more passes here and there, but you definitely don't want the players to stop playing
here.
Their game.
Teixeira runs onto it, served ahead by Johnson. Teixeira feeds in the middle, can't connect. It'll trickle over that far sideline. Salem throw in, but yes, I agree. Just looking for solid opportunities. Keeping legs fresh for these starters for the Bulldogs.
I think sometimes when you have unbalanced, 2 teams like this, the team that's much better, the coach might tell the players at halftime or communicate to the players on the field, let's see how many consecutive touches you guys can get. And they're not looking consecutive touches necessarily going at goal and finishing with a shot, but just, hey, see if you can hit 20, which Bedford could probably do.
Sure, get time of possession up, completed pass percentage up. Here's Bilecki near side.
It's practicing all the things that make Bedford who they are. It's the knowing where your partner, if you will, like you got the Ali and Gabe Teixeira connection there, knowing where they're going to be, where they are, what they expect you to do, how hard to hit the ball, turning around, back passing sometimes to just maintain possession, not lose it, like you see right in here.
have to say the Bulldogs have incredible awareness when they are coming on to a loose ball, checking shoulders each time. Awareness of time, space, teammates, opponents. Doing a great job with that throughout this evening's gameplay. Teixeira.
Nice shoulder fake there.
Pushed off of it, and then blocks a long pass attempt. Kaplow will play it all the way back to Yater.
You notice Yater continuing to do the same thing the rest of the team's doing, maintaining control. If he hits that ball just down the field in the air, you've got a maybe, I don't know, 60-40 chance of maintaining control, but with the pass that he did, he guaranteed maintaining possession.
Push ahead here by Pinto.
Look at this.
Opportunity Salem. Yater true to it.
Oh!
Gives up the rebound, and Tennant is there to shield off that rebound. So Yater with a save on the Blue Devils' first legitimate opportunity of this game, and now Pinto steps in and makes another pick here for the Blue Devils.
And here he is again. That's Mateus Pinto again.
Delano there. Now Wallace comes out of the pack for the Bulldogs. Bilecki turns it over, but it comes right back to his feet. Santerre now.
Caleb Yeater, I didn't have a chance to comment though, but made a really nice save. That was not an easy save to make, and maintain possession of the ball during that.
Yeah, the rebound did come out, but Tennant was there, helped shield off the attacking player. Mirza double teamed. Bilecki tries to go around to his left foot. Out of bounds near side off Strobe.
As we get into the tournament, I'm sure that you're going to see Ali double teamed often. They're going to mark him closely.
Natural goal scorer is Ali Mirza. Just in the right place at the right time, and has a great knack for putting that ball in the back of the net.
And I certainly believe he is our Bulldog leading scorer this season.
2 goals here tonight for Mirza. Gets onto it in the box, but the Bulldogs will be called for a foul. Gabe Teixeira will get called for a push. Blue Devils will clear it out. Elias Mercedes. Long ball there. Gets away from Bilecki, but Benjamin serves it near side.
I think I've noticed that the Salem JV boys team has probably headed home for the evening. We don't hear them cheering on these scoring opportunities that their teammates have made here in the last 5 minutes. It's been quiet.
Sure has.
But it was,
although the Blue Devils did have their first legitimate chance of this game just a minute or two ago. Teixeira tries to play through that back line. Closed down nicely. That was Campbell. And now Benjamin for the Bulldogs. Senior captain plays it across the middle here to Colin Johnson.
And I give props, quick shout out to that Salem JV squad that they lost. I think the score was not positive, but possibly like 4-2. And there's a
great save, Mercedes. Bilecki on the end of that. Teixeira served it across. Mirza couldn't get onto it. Bilecki did. Right-footed attempt and just didn't have enough steam on it. Mercedes got his hand on it, kept it out, and we stayed at 5-0.
That Salem JV squad, though, they were all positive, all good, positive, sportsmanlike comments, cheering the players on. There was nothing negative that I could hear from up here. Good bunch of kids.
Like to see that sportsmanship and positive cheering for each other. That's Wallace, far side. His shot goes over the cage. Mercedes will have a goal kick for the Blue Devils.
Now from up here, we can't hear it from the far side, but I don't believe that the Bedford coaches tend to yell out too much to the players during the matches. They've got them prepared. They go out there, they know what to do, and they let them do it.
I would imagine minor adjustments here and there, maybe a subtle correction or suggestion of slight strategy change, but I totally agree. Coach Stuart Pepper has his troops prepared, not one of the quote-unquote yeller types. Tennant to Caplow, now across to Hoey. Santerre. Here's Wallace.
I know we've talked, and I've talked to a couple of the parents of some of our players that when play on this artificial turf, you get the consistent, nice ball roll and bounce. When you go to the natural grass fields, it can be a little bit more of a challenging to the Bedford side, but they've done pretty well this year, I believe. From what I've understood, have not been away to a game.
Benjamin here with a lefty attempt that goes low and wide. I did get a chance to go down to that Londonderry tie for the Bulldogs. That was on, of course, the natural grass field as they took on the Lancers. And honestly, they were just as strong on grass as they normally are on turf. To me, it didn't feel like it affected the game too much, other than it was slightly misting that afternoon, and it caused a little bit of slick conditions and possibly some skipping of the ball. But they had opportunities, as does Teixeira here. Mercedes falls on it and makes another save. But honestly, both teams in that game had great scoring opportunities, neither able to finish, and it ended in that 0-0 tie referenced earlier.
And I know some of the discussion at the beginning of the season, as the Bedford side began to show some domination against their opponents, a couple people said one of the teams that they thought would have a chance to tie or beat them was in fact Londonderry, and they did.
And they did. They've had a pretty good rivalry between those two teams. A lot of those kids playing on the same club team throughout the spring and summer, so there's a familiarity with the team, players and tendencies as they get to practice and train together. Nice distribution here as Strobe tries to push forward, but heavy touch goes out of bounds over the near touch line. Tennant throws it in to Caplow. He'll play it up the middle to Benjamin. Benjamin ranges forward, distributes to Santerre, now near side Johnson. 10 minutes into this second half, the Bulldogs ahead 5-0. No scoring yet here in the second half, but Bilecki runs onto it, pitch into the middle, running onto it. Wallace can't get a foot on it.
Oh my gosh, what a great... Gabe Teixeira started that one off over here on the left-hand side and passed it in through, threaded through the defenders, and fortunately did not result in an actual shot on goal.
I love to see the creativity of these players again, just keeping the defense off balance, doing the unexpected, hesitations, misdirections, nifty plays with the ball. It's just fun to watch their creativity. Benjamin now, far side, Wallace, Caplow,
and much
left
of that
wing for Bilecki.
Much of that creativity that you're talking about is actually coming from, whoa,
there it is, goal.
Goal number 6.
Bilecki threw into Benjamin as he was coming up, ranging forward from his midfield position, and he puts that 6th goal on the board.
This is similar to the way the Spalding game went for Bedford, where they scored 5 in the first half and then got 5 in the second. That's the first maybe of another group here. However, they were spaced out quite a bit more against Spalding here. We played for almost 13 minutes before Bedford scored the first goal in the second half.
So 27:50
Ethan Benjamin
left in this second half.
Jacob Bilecki.
Ethan Benjamin on the goal. Bilecki picks up his 2nd assist to go along with 2 goals this evening. Nice output for the senior defender. He's listed as a defender on this roster. He seems to be playing more in that midfield role. Mirza Blocked away last second. Vying for a Hattie.
Corner kick. Maybe we can see another short corner, Corey. It's been a couple
yeah,
weeks since we've seen the short corner that you love, your favorite.
Johnson will get the ball, tee it up, right-footed in-swinger. And again, just going back to that goal by Benjamin, that touch, here it is, short corner. You love it here.
Now that could have been just a quick shot there, but
they take their time,
patient,
casually approach it.
Yeah. I think if the score wasn't what it was, that would have been I would hope he would have taken a shot on that one.
Yeah, I wanted to go again back to that goal by Benjamin. You had mentioned in the first half the just steady, solid, and confident first touch that these Bulldogs players have shown throughout on each of the scoring opportunities. That was another great example. Balecki serving it in. Mirza almost ran onto it, and then Benjamin did, successfully finishing.
A dangerous pass there with the, I don't know if you saw the second Salem player over there or not. Who wins it? Look at this.
Hoey tried to get it. Shot here from Salem. Sails over the net. Good bid, though.
Yeah, the Salem players, although they haven't had the goals, they've put some nice effort in, especially now in the second half, and gotten some shots off that, at least one that definitely could have scored if it wasn't for the great save.
Mateus Pinto on that opportunity there. But again, the Bulldogs will build from the back to share it to Santerre. Quick Mirza.
Quick decision making by him. Here's a shot.
To share again, save Mercedes.
Great save, Mr. Mercedes. Wow.
Good bid there by Teixeira, though, as he got solid contact, beautiful strike, low liner, and Mercedes ranged to his right, making that save. Good tester there, though. Benjamin now touches it forward. Here's Santerre looking for Mirza making a run. Gets back to his left foot, fires, too high.
Mirza did a really good job of staying on sides on that play.
Sure did, and that's tough to do when you're making the run, just timing your burst of speed to get that slight advantage over the defender.
But the style of play, the tactical strategy that Bedford side uses, it does not rely on those through balls up, over, and around the defenders from a distance. They work the ball in, and that prevents a lot of potential offsides that they may have had, would have had, whatever the correct verbiage is and all that.
Might have had.
might have had they not maintained the control the way that they do with more of the short passing.
Strobe here, free kick for the Blue Devils. Santerre. Now Wallace. Heavy touch there and stepped into.
Well, we've got some of these Exeter players have returned.
Christian Cruz there on a nice move. Gains his space, and Salem JV folks are cheering on their varsity players. And we might start to see a few of these substitutions again for the Bulldogs as we approach halfway through this second half. We're at 23 minutes remaining in the game. And we are. So here's Jacobson. Santerre gets to his left. He'll have a go. Blocked out in front.
Good effort. If you don't shoot, you don't score.
I believe that was Cruz on the block out in front, just at the top of the box.
What is the referee doing over?
You know, they are ranging across there, speaking to Coach Valsic.
I can't figure out. The ball was still in play, and I looked down to see for the throw-in call, and the referee was already across the midfield line in terms of across towards the other half.
Strange interaction there.
I wonder if he just avoided red carding a player or something for saying something to him. That's my only guess, is that he went over and told the coach to take him out of the game.
Quite possibly.
Taking his jersey off. The player is not happy. Going for a walk.
Frustrating game for these Blue Devils as the Bulldogs again just showing their talent from the opening whistle.
Maybe somebody watching the game or on replay, we can see later if that was potentially the case. Corner here.
Cleared over the end line.
But if that's what this official did, I applaud him, because at this point in the season, the way things are going for Salem, it's not going to help. Maybe the young player will learn a lesson, assuming that, and maybe the referee over here knows the Salem coach and knows that he will deal with it appropriately. The player still has not returned to the bench. He's walking over there. Just coming over now, going to the far end away from the coach.
Bulldogs making some substitutions there. Let's focus back on the field as we have a corner kick down to our left. In swinger, fielded easily by Mercedes. Just a touch too close to that line. Colin Johnson not able to connect on that opportunity. Wallace touches it ahead. Here's Rodriguez into the middle. Mirza tries to track it down, but out of his range. Hoey. Wallace. Jacobson. Touched around. Benjamin now goes all the way back for Kaplow. 20 minutes to go in this game. 6-0 is your score. The Bulldogs ahead since minute 2 of this game. Just 2.5 minutes in, Teixeira scored on a beautiful touch from Mirza, who got the assist. Wallace dances away from pressure, maintains possession here for the Bulldogs. Mirza, Johnson, can't get hold of it. Nice little touch there by Mirza to avoid the defender. No, he plays give and go with Johnson. Again, Teixeira opened the scoring. Bilecki followed just 2 minutes later. Another minute later, Mirza had his first. And then 3 minutes later, Mirza had his second. Bilecki closed the scoring in that first half, 5-0 at halftime. And Benjamin has the lone goal here in the second half for the Bulldogs, assisted by Bilecki. That's his second assist on the game. That was 13 minutes into this second half, and here we are at 6-0. Patient approach here by the Bulldogs. Again, Coach Pepper getting some of his substitutions in and on and getting time. Kaplow will head out. Tennant will take that center back position.
And Corey, part of my my emphasis on that situation with the way the referee handled that was the concept that the Federation of State High School Associations, the governing body, looks at all high school sports as an extension of the classroom, a learning experience. And that's why from my perspective, that's why I saw that. And where some spectators, some parents might say, geez, but he's had a curse word or something. Well, you know what? Sometimes there's a better way to handle the situation.
Sure.
Just like they do in a school setting, and that's what this is. Enough said, though.
Absolutely. Good on the referee for handling the situation, not letting it escalate, but then also not doling out a penalty that could be severe in nature. Either way, we have 17 minutes left in this game, and regardless, those actions would not have really benefited anybody. So
no.
Good job for the referee for handling that situation. More substitutions here for the Blue Devils. This is Dylan Coyle trotting on for the Blue Devils. Tegan Nguyen will go off.
Almost a nice play there.
Pinto tries to touch it by and recover, but in the way was a Bulldog defender. Hoey runs onto it. Nice turn by Hoey on that back line. Rodriguez now. Mirza can't catch up to it. They work it along the near sideline. Looney into the middle to Jacobson. Now back to Looney.
Nice change up here. Switch the ball to the right side.
Move in looking for that through ball. Now playing it forward just too far. And Yater comes off his line and scoops it up. Inside 16 minutes. Benjamin, long ball forward. Rodriguez.
The Londonderry game, was that 0-0 tie?
0-0 it was.
Sometimes it takes a real soccer enthusiast to enjoy a 0-0 game. But
well, count me in that category. That was an entertaining game. Again, solid athletes both sides, high level of skill.
Yeah.
The conditions, again, they weren't a significant factor, but I would say a slight factor in that game. And opportunities for both sides. They both had solid scoring opportunities and just couldn't finish in the final third. But great game to watch.
And we have had incredibly good weather this fall, as far as I can remember. I mean, we're lucky up here in the Northeast. I know that one of my friends was down in North Carolina with the Red Cross for a couple weeks recently because of the horrendous storm situations they've had. But I don't remember a game being played here under the rain, boys or girls.
Not that I've been to.
Was there one football game that was a rainy day? Weekend?
I don't think so. No. I think it's been pretty dry this October. And even September, that later part of September was quite dry. So
hope I'm not ruining things for the next couple of weeks. Get into the playoffs with a lot of Bedford teams out there on the field still, and the parents and students in the stands, and the broadcasters, the guy with the camera upstairs.
Oh yeah, no, he likes the snow when he's out there on the camera. So that's okay.
Pull out that winter hat, Bill Jennings, BCTV beanie.
So as we touched on it before, remaining schedule for the Bulldogs, they play Dover right back here on Thursday night, the 24th, 7 p.m. So come out to that game if you can. Salem will host Pinkerton to close out their season also on Thursday. That's a 4 p.m. game. A little bit earlier in the afternoon. Mirza can't turn. Low liner there by Hooven gets blocked out front.
Yeah,
now playing forward, here's Strobe.
Hooven got a good foot on the ball, but right into a defender block.
Strobe is foiled by Lafferty. Are we on to it? Wallace. Other broadcast? Are we doing a volleyball game this week or no?
No, we're waiting for the playoffs for them. We were supposed to do one this past Monday night, and not sure why, but that was canceled. They The volleyball team is undefeated. They are, I've got some notes here someplace hidden underneath.
They are. I thought you were just going to say they are good.
They're unbelievable. They're unbelievable. Bill Jennings is saying, use your volleyball voice here. They're 16-0, and they're the only undefeated team. Team closest is Pinkerton, and it's 14-3. And the huge rival Hollis Brookline, previous to Bedford's run over the last 4 years, winning championships. Hollis Brookline 11-5, down in about 6th or 7th place.
Probably preparing for a playoff run and shave and tapering, to use some swimming terms.
The Goffstown matchup for the girls volleyball was the first time in, I believe, 3 or 4 years for a regular season match to go to the 5th game, which was, we're sitting there thinking, holy cow, we normally are home like a lot earlier than we are right now. Goffstown did a very, very fine job of playing against, stacking up against the girls.
Other upcoming broadcasts, again, we'll reiterate, we will carry the football game here on Friday night, as the Bulldogs will host Nashua South. The Purple Panthers coming in with an undefeated record.
Is that 7 o'clock?
7 p.m. Kickoff. And then we'll try to bring playoff action in a variety of sports throughout next week and moving forward, as each of these teams approach the twilight of their regular season schedules.
Depending upon who gets buys in that first week, next week it's either, not sure if it's Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday. For the girls play first, I believe. And then the next day it will be the boys, if they're playing without the bye.
Great cut by Mirza.
Mirza gets
Little cut back, gives himself some space.
nice goal.
Finishes lefty into that far right corner. Mirza with the hattie.
Goalkeeper had just enough time to stop in the middle and size up Mirza with the ball at his feet, and it was almost like a penalty kick. The view from here straight across, Mirza keeping it low. I like it. Another great goal. And he's
again a beautiful ball forward, as Mirza was able to run onto that.
Number 10, Ali Mirza. Assistant number 16, Devin Lafferty.
with the score as it is, we've got a running clock now. Which I don't think anybody minds that tonight. I'm sure the officials like it.
Lafferty with the assist credited to him. So 7-0, Mirza with his third goal on the evening. Bill, I didn't see you throw your hat down onto the field.
Well, what I was thinking was, hat trick. Does that term hat trick, did that originate in ice hockey? Versus, it certainly wouldn't be basketball or football.
Well, no.
But goals. Ice hockey, I'm sure it's not lacrosse.
I think I might assign you a research project before our next broadcast.
Oh.
Yeah, you might have to look that up. And don't just rely on Wikipedia. Like, you have to cite appropriate sources. So, I mean, as you said, we're trying to extend the learning environment into these extracurriculars.
This is an extension of classroom.
Yes.
Corey Parker is all over this. He's so pro.
I have full support from Corey Parker. You need to have a research project. Next broadcast we do, I would like to understand the origin
of number of pages, words, or something. Or?
No, just an explanation. Not terribly complicated.
Just keep it simple. Just give me an answer.
What is the origin of hat trick? Was it a magician that always, pulled out 3 rabbits? That might be close to it, huh?
You might be onto something there. And of course, I'm sure that that the hundreds of people that are listening to this game right now live across the world, the globe,
You're funny.
are they're online right now, and most of them have already found the answer.
Probably.
At least those under the age of 50 that are capable of doing that on their phone and computers.
Yeah, if somebody has the answer, wants to text it in, I'm all ears. But you'd actually ruin the research project for Bill Klein. So, although he might blatantly plagiarize you or some easy way out for Mr. Klein over here.
I won't plagiarize. I'll quote them. I'll give them.
Oh, okay. Yes. So appropriately cite your sources.
I'll cite my sources.
Okay. Well
yes.
done.
And if that's a human being, so be it.
Just under 7 minutes to go here. 7-0 is your score. You can tell we're getting a little punchy here in the booth. Some substitutions here by the Blue Devils. This is Brody Snyder coming on as Owen LaGrasse will head out.
Some of the Salem JV players here still have some pep left in them. They're cheering out there.
As they should. Ride or die for the Blue Devils. Good for them. Bulldogs having a meager student section of their own. Middle of the school week, so not surprising.
Vegas betting odds just reported that when the clock goes to 5 minutes and stops here, they believe that it will not be 5 minutes of playtime actually on the field.
All right. So you're going to take the under?
Absolutely. I understand what that means, I think.
Okay. Oh, we hear near side to Cotnoir. Jacobson in the middle. Lafferty tracks it down. Escapes one, but not the second. The Blue Devils look to range forward. Led by Leite. Looking to spring their teammate there through the middle. Making a run, I believe that was Pinto.
Yeah, Pinto has been by far one of the most mentioned and better players on the field for Salem. He's put some nice little footwork together there, controlling the ball and getting some shots off.
Junior, here he is again. Keeps it in bounds. Gains possession and now looks to drive one-on-one. Nice turn there.
He's getting some cheers from his players, his teammates up here in the stands.
Pinto over quickly, does a nice job of preventing any further progress there. Good slide and poke out of bounds. We have met that 5-minute mark, so I'm not sure if you're keeping track. Okay. 7-0 is your score. Again, quick summary as we tick down in these final moments. The Bulldogs have led since just 2.5 minutes into this game. Teixeira with that opening goal from Mirza. Bilecki just 2 minutes later from Benjamin. And then 1 minute later, Mirza from Bilecki. So 3 goals very quickly there to start this game. And then not 3 minutes later, Mirza came with his second on a goal from Teixeira with the assist. Bilecki rounded out the first half scoring with an unassisted goal, made it 5-0 at halftime. 2 goals here in the second half. Benjamin from Bilecki at 27:50, and then Mirza from Lafferty at 9:50, rounding out the scoring. So Mirza able to get the Hattie tonight. Bill Klein has a homework assignment, research project. Next time on next broadcast, we'll have the origin of why it's called a hat trick.
And that'll have to wait until the playoffs begin, Corey. And I would imagine no matter what, the game will be here at home for Bedford.
If
whether
not the one,
buy or not,
then likely a 2 seed for these Bulldogs. as they look to close out this regular season. Again, Exeter, the only other unbeaten team, 13-0-2. They won earlier today. A lopsided 8-0 victory for the Exeter squad. Yater off his line. We'll pick it up. Looking for those 3 short blasts from the head official to put a bow tie on this one here.
A little under 2 minutes to go if it plays out. And I, at this point, thinking, geez, I'm glad I didn't actually put any money on the table here with you, Corey. The under may not have worked. I hope the over doesn't, though, that's for sure.
Provencher ahead. Cleared out by the Blue Devils.
Both teams getting a little bit sloppier than they have been here, not really caring just to get off the field tonight.
Bulldogs will kind of wrap it up here, and there they are. 3 short whistles signifying the end of the game. Some handshakes around, some nice sportsmanship from the Bulldogs towards these Blue Devils. Final score here from Bedford High School, 7-0, led by Ali Mirza's 3 goals. Malecki with 2 goals and 2 assists. Bill, any final thoughts?
Hey, looking forward to the playoffs coming up in numerous sports all the way around, and it's amazing that Bedford can put on such a great athletic program. But of course, when you have an athletic director like Corey Parker and staff at BCTV, Bill Jennings, Andrew Fenn back at the studio, I'll thank them right now for their support of their sports teams. And it will be an interesting playoff season. Hopefully, we'll have, again, like last year, a couple championships, and we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. The Bulldogs improve their record to 13-0-2. The Blue Devils fall to 6-6-3 on the season. We will try to join you for playoff action. Till next time, again, thank you to the BCTV crew. Have a great night, everybody.